What is up, boys? My name is Berate, and welcome to my day one VYSE guide. Or is it VYSE? I have no idea. I will be going over some very simple VYSE setups that I theory crafted this morning, and I will be going over with you today. Now, this is not going to be a fully fledged guide. I will be making more detailed guides for VYSE in future videos. This is going to be just your standard bread and butter defense setups. I don't know if these are optimal. I don't know if these are the best, but these are just the ones that I found, and feel free to copy and paste them into your own games. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, starting off with the VYSE site, setup number one, probably what you're going to be seeing me and a lot of other VYSE players doing is you're going to be putting your wall right here so that, you know, anyone who gets walked out gets knocked out by the main choke point. And because the site only has one choke point, this is probably the best spot to put your wall. And then immediately I would probably put my razor vines right here. Reason why I put the razor vines right here is once they come through the wall and get isolated, you want to pop your vines right here to slow them and have them take damage, so that if you are ideally playing back sight, you can use your flash, which I would say putting your flash on this box would be the best idea. You can then flash, razor vine, flash, and most likely secure your free kill if they do come out here. You want to make it so that when they do come past this wall, you want to make them respect your wall. You want to put in the enemy's head, if you cross this wall, you will die. And the best way to do that would definitely be to put your flash right here, put your razor vine right here, wait for the wall to get popped right here, combo your utility like this, and take a free kill. As for your second razor vine on for full buy rounds, most likely I would like to put one right here. This is a sort of a two-edged sword. One, it makes it a lot more difficult for them to plant the spike and take backside, because if they're planting the spike, they're stuck right here, or if they want to come through here, they're going to take damage. If they want to push backside and take space, they're going to have to run through the razor vine. And also it has the added benefit of if they are trying to get into heaven, they're going to have to go through the vine, they're going to be slowed, and it's just going to be a lot more difficult time for them to get into heaven. So that would probably be the second place to put my razor vine. And as far as the ultimate goes, I mean, it's just your ultimate. Just pop it and you get rid of the primary weapons. Not really much strategy with the ultimate. You just use it whenever you know they're in a group and you need to either retake the side or something. All right, on to B. Coming over to B here, probably the wall that I would throw would be this wall right here. Again, I wish that there was a way for you to throw a wall right here to sort of like block them from going forwards and to sort of just knock them off. But I don't really think that that wall is possible, because what you can do is you can, if you put like your wall like right here per se, you can just run right past it. Now you won't be able to run back. You won't be able to escape, so it gets rid of that option in case you don't want to jump over, things get fishy, want to jump back. So that is going to remove the ability for them to jump back, but as far as it actually killing them, it's not really going to do much. And if they read that your wall is there, they're just not going to go, or they're just going to run past it. So probably the best one that I would do is I would say use your wall right here to block off the main choke point. And that's sort of what you're going to be doing. You're going to be using your wall to block off the main choke points to isolate their entries, etc., etc. As far as razor vines go, I'd probably place one right here, again, off the entrance. Same idea as the one before, because ideally with VYSE, you're going to be playing very close to your utility, playing to like peek off of the advantage that your utility gains you. So probably this one right here for this wall would be good. And as for your second one, you have a couple options. You could either place it right here to, you know, slow and stop anyone from coming through here, or alternatively, you could also place it right here at the start of the round. And placing it right here at the start of the round has a very interesting effect. Now, you do need to have some kind of information as to where they're going, but because this thing slows you, as long as this thing is active, you can't jump to the other side. Like, I'm like trying to jump to the other side right now, but I just can't do it. So with this active, when this thing is active, just know that no matter how hard they try, no matter how much momentum they get, they can't jump over to the other side. I accidentally just offed myself. But anyways, yeah, so they cannot jump over to the other side on B while that razor vine is active. So that's probably where I'd put it if at all possible. But if you want to be a little bit more safe and you don't want to be this close to the barrier at the start of the round, just placing it right here is also another option, because it sort of gets rid of both of their entry paths. Because if you have these two active at once, they can't really take any space on site, and that's kind of your whole goal as a sentinel. I guess they can come right here and like sort of like hold you and camp you out, but again, it's just really not worth it in most scenarios. All right, on to the next map. All right, coming on to Ascent here. The basic setup that you're probably going to be seeing with a lot of VYSE players is they're going to be using this flash, which this flash right here was actually in the VYSE trailer. So I just stole this completely from the trailer. This is a pretty good flash spot because, you know, as they're coming in and trying to clear sight, right, you know, they're going to be clearing like this the entire time that they're clearing like this area of the map until they get to about right here. They're going to be like within line of sight of the flash. So at any point as they're clearing, you pop your flash and you most likely get a full blind off of it. So that's probably the best spot to put your flash is like somewhere about right here. Alternatively, if you want to put it in a little bit of an alternate spot, you could also probably put it right here as well. This one isn't going to cover as much area, so it's always like better to throw your flashes higher up. So definitely try to keep it as high as you can. As far as walls go, your first instinct might be to wall right here, but I think that I might have theory crafted a bit of a better wall, which would be to wall like this. Now, the idea behind walling like this is to isolate them, and so that you have information. Because if someone is here and they're coming out like this, right? And the wall closes behind them, they have quite a few places that they can run. They are stuck on site, but you know, they can like tuck right here. If it's a jet, because oftentimes it's going to be duelist players and like jet and race players jumping out, triggering the wall, so that, you know, they might be able to hide here. They might be able to get to switch. But with this wall right here, they're kind of funneled into a certain part of sight. So you know that they have to be in like this front part of sight, because they can't go back, they can't push you from lane, they have to be within like these like four corners of sight here. And a perfect play that you could do is you could sit stairs, which honestly I think on on B site playing stairs with VYSE is very good, because then you can, you know, wait for your wall to go, pop your flash, and then you know they have to be within this area, so you have a rough idea of where to pre-aim, where if your wall and flash goes off here, they have a place to run to lane. This wall sort of just makes it impossible for them to run there. Now they could, in theory, just run out here and then completely skip your wall and go lane. In that case, then I would start putting my wall here. But if you have them pushing out and trying to close the switch door, definitely I would have this wall as your default wall. As far as razor vines go, I'd most likely just put them in the same spots that I'd put killjoy mollies, just because slowing their approach into like lane here is really strong on this map, and making them have a disadvantage as they're taking these lane fights here is generally very good. So I'd just put one right here, put one right here. Again, these cover quite a bit of area, so they are pretty forgiving when it comes to placement. They're not really like killjoy mollies at all, but generally for B, this is probably the setup that I'd do. All right, coming on over to A side of Ascent here, this is sort of the setup that I theory crafted up a little bit. So here's the basic idea of the setup. First off, in order to throw the flash this high, you have to actually be able to consistently make this generator jump, which, you know, it's been a bit since I practiced it. But you have to be able to consistently make this generator jump up here. I know that I am washed and I can't make this, but this jump is possible, I swear. There we go. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your flash right up here. Probably the more optimal one would be to put it as far to the right as you can. So like right here on this corner would be probably the best place to put it, in my opinion. Just because this is going to where it's going to be like covering the most area, because look at the line of sight of this flash. This is pretty much covering the entirety of sight. And as far as positioning goes, this setup is more made for you to be playing generator. You're going to be playing dice with the setup. You're going to be playing heaven with the setup. You're going to be playing hell with the setup. Unlike, you know, some killjoy setups where, you know, you're forced to play in one spot, you have a bit of versatility with the setup. Here, standard wall. The only reason I put it on this box right here is because, you know, it's just going to be easier to throw in the pre-round. And also it covers, you know, a slightly bit more area. I don't know. It still is the same idea of covering the entirety of main, and, you know, they're right here. Once your wall gets triggered, you're going to have this thorn vine right here. Same idea as the one from Abyss. You're going to be using your thorn vines as they're coming out to slow them so that you can come out, flash from wherever you are, and take your kill. The second one is going to be for after your wall comes down, and after this comes down, and after you killed the primary entry, you're going to be popping this second one right here for switch, just to make it more awkward for them to close switch. Sort of like that. So this is going to be your general setup on A when it comes to here. And this flash is really good because, again, when they are clearing sight, you want this flash to always be within their line of sight. And this flash right here, as they're, you know, going around slicing the pie on sight, right? They're right here. they're on site, they're over here, they're over here, they're over here, they're clearing. For like 90% of your pathing of clearing sight, this flashes within your line of sight, and at any point you could just rip it and pretty much full blind the entire site. Even if you're like, you know, like coming at a tree here, you're getting blinded by that. Because, like, you're getting blinded by that flash, even, like, if you're, like, you know, like, looking all the way over here, right? Like, I'm not even looking at the flash, and, like, I'm over here coming at a tree clearing dice. I'm getting full blind by that. So, generally, what you want to do is you want to have your flashes as high up as you can and exposed to as many angles as possible so that you makes the flash as difficult to dodge as you possibly can. Yeah, and honestly, get creative with your flashes, but definitely this is going to be the flash that you're going to be running 99% of the time on A. Alright boys, welcome to Bind. Bind A site is going to be really difficult for VYSE to set up, just because there's so many entrances to site, and it's not a very congested like part of the map, so you can't exactly concentrate VYSE's utility and have the utility synergize off of each other, but this is the best sort of setup that I could think of. Generally, what you're going to be doing with VYSE is you're going to either be playing, not Lambs, what I'm doing. You're either going to be playing, like, you're either going to be playing, I don't know, like, back triple right here, or you're going to be playing Heaven, like this, or you're basically going to be playing very much in the backside area, because this is how you can best play off of your utility in terms of positioning. In terms of the setup, here's the basic idea of the setup. So you have your flash here to blind anyone coming out of main. You can swing off this flash yourself. Like, if you are playing triple, you can swing off this flash yourself and get some kills. But mainly this flash is going to be to set it to be basically just setting up one of your other players. So, like, say you have your Lamps player here, Ayo, VYSE, flash for me, and then, like, you have, like, you know, someone swinging out of Lamps here and taking space with this flash. That could also be good. This one right here is purely just for stall. If you know that they're rushing, this can pretty easily stop one of their rushes. I could not find any good wall spots here, because every single place that you would wall would either be too deep in order to, like, consistently place into the round, or can just be jumped over by hop, skip, and a jumping on this box. So generally, I think your wall would be better placed for showers here. The showers wall is very good because it will deny the entirety of the shower space, and also if you are playing Heaven or back triple, you can very easily, once your wall goes off, pop this and generally get a free kill based off of the sound cue here. So generally that's going to be the pretty much only setup for A. I do not think VYSE is a good agent on A, so don't play A if it is at all avoidable. But now let's go to the better VYSE site, which is B. Alright boys, welcome to B. Now, I don't know if this is bug abuse or not, but there's a very stupid out of bounds VYSE flash that you can throw. It goes all the way back here. So here's how you throw that flash. So what you're going to do is you're just going to get on top of this box here. You're going to put your flash as high on this wall as you can, and then you're just going to jump, right? You're going to jump until you can sort of get this VYSE flash on the wall behind. Sort of like this. Again, it is very finicky. I did get it first try, and I know it's possible because it was literally up there like just a couple seconds ago. But yeah, this is a extremely broken flash right here. There it is. It needs to be on this little part of the wall right here that's sticking out. This flash blinds literally everything. If you're coming out of hookah, oopsie daisy, you're blind. And also this flash has the added benefit of being extremely difficult to shoot because of this part of the wall right here. So this is an extremely broken flash you want to use for VYSE. Definitely you want to be abusing that. As far as your hookah setup goes, I would honestly just put both razor vines in hookah. This is going to make it really stupid for them to push out of hookah. And they're going to be taking a lot of damage if they do decide to go through here. So definitely these two razor vines here. The B wall, very standard. You can't really jump over this wall. You can't really get around this wall. You could like sort of bait out the wall, but then you're still blocked out of sight. And the reason that this flash is just so incredibly broken is it covers both hookah and the B long walkout as well. So like you're not avoiding this flash unless you expect to come. You can be all the way out on site. If you are on site, this flash does not blind you. So just know that this flash only blinds you if you are actually in long or in hookah. So if you want to use this flash later on in the round for, say, a retake, then this is not going to be your best bet. But if you're going to be, you know, flashing like as they swing, this is going to be a completely broken flash. However, one thing that I will say is probably a better flash that would be like better in terms of versatility is just to put it like right here. Genuinely, it's just to put it right here. It has the sort of the same effect of blinding everything, but it doesn't have the added benefit of being far away and like super difficult to shoot, because you can really easily shoot this flash, especially if you're expecting it. But you also have the ability of putting it all along this wall as well, which definitely can help with its ambiguity. But this flash will blind everything even if you are out on site, so that's generally the flash that I would use. All right, that should be it for the setup on this map. On to the next. All right, boys, welcome to Haven. For your C setup, you're gonna have a couple of options. For your actual C setup, your main 3 things are gonna be Razor Vine here for the entrance to make their entry slower, Razor Vine here to stop them from pushing back site, so that they either have to push through this and get, you know, slowed and damaged, or they're gonna have to push over here and get funneled, and then the flash up here to just pretty much blast them. So this is going to be your general setup. You're going to be having thingy here. Now you have 2 options for your walls. You could either A, wall off the choke point, which is good and good, or you can sit garage at the very start of the round and throw your wall right here from the edge of this wall to the start of this bell right here, and just completely deny all of the space from garage. So you can completely deny all the garage space here, because one person comes through and their garage space gets denied. Also, another alternative wall you could throw is you could throw a wall right here. Something to note about VYSE's wall is the wall just needs to be attached to one surface. It's not like a cipher trip where it needs to be one surface. It can just be attached to one surface and it will go out for as far as it'll go. So throwing your wall right here also is another good option if you want to isolate their fight once they come out of garage. So you have a bit of options with your wall here, but these are definitely the 3 that I would do. Coming on over to B here, B is going to be extremely straightforward. You're just going to be throwing a wall like this and then using your utility for other parts of the site. Generally, you don't want to be wasting utility or like a lot of sentinel utility on B. So generally what I would either do is I would throw my wall in garage, or I would throw my wall on B, and then at that point just be done with it, because you don't really like need any extra utility on B. But if you're dying for a B setup, probably it would just be like really simple. You put your flash here, you put your vine here, and your vine here. One for the entrance, one for default plant. So that'd probably be the basic idea of setting up B, but I'm not gonna devote a whole section to B because it's literally just a wall. Coming on over to A here, A is gonna be a little bit more on the complicated side, so bear with me. Because the site has 2 entrances, you can come through short, or you can come through long. There's not going to be a wall that can really cover all of it. So you kind of just have to choose one to put your wall on and choose another to like pile your utility on. So in terms of like the setup, this is most likely the one that I would do. For your flash, you're actually going to go to heaven. You're going to go up here. You're going to right click so that it goes on the other side of the wall, and then you want your flash to be as high up as you possibly can. Just because, you know, when your flash is higher up, it's harder to dodge. It covers more area, and it lasts longer on site. Like I'm all the way over here, and I'm going to get full blind by that thing. Like that thing wasn't even within my line of sight, and I'm getting full blind by it. So yeah, so generally this is probably the setup I'd do. Your wall is going to be better off for sure. You could have to throw your wall right here, or you could throw your wall be a little bit fishy and like throw your wall right here, but not too sure there. Throw your Razor Vine right here for the A main push to stall. You could throw your vine right here, or you could also throw it a little bit deeper like this, depending on where you want. And then your last vine, I would probably throw either for short or for the default plant. Just because if you throw it right here, this sort of splits off the site in 2. Because they have to either come through this way, or they have to wrap all the way around through here, and anyone coming out of short is also going to have to go all the way around through here. So you can't exactly cross sight through the middle like you normally do. You would have to wrap all the way around in order to avoid that. Or you could just throw it right here, and then throw your Razor Vine as your wall goes up, and then swing. But the problem is they could also tuck in this cubby and stay still, in which case they would be perfectly safe. They would just be slowed. So just keep that in mind. So you could either throw it here and here, or there and right here. Pick your poison. But for the wall, I definitely use it for short. And for the flash, make sure that you're heaven so that it can go all the way on top. And then as far as positioning goes on this site, you'd probably want to be playing heaven, because in heaven you can, you know, play off of your utility a lot better. You can swing off of it, be completely safe. Flash, swing off of it, be completely safe. You're going to be completely safe 90% of the time you're playing heaven. You are going to get smoked off a lot in heaven. So alternatively, you could also play backside right here. sort of play for this type of deal, play for this type of deal, and then when things get fishy, you can flash and then run away completely safe to CT. You can basically flash to like give yourself a safe exit. So like, oh my gosh, things are getting fishy, I'm trapped backside. You just flash, knife out, B-hop back to CT, and you're completely safe. All right, next map. All right, boys, welcome to Icebox. This is the sort of the setup. Ignore this wall right here. I completely misclicked this one. But the general setup that you're going to want to be doing on Icebox A site is, well, one, avoid playing A side if you can. But if you are stuck playing on A, this is probably the setup that I'd use. First off, you have your wall right here to deny anyone from coming through this side of the map for a little bit. So that should be fine. You have your Razor Vine right here to stop anyone who does go past your wall to, you know, crossing into sight right here. Alternatively, you can also put your Razor Vine right here as well to, you know, slow anyone coming onto sight after, you know, they pop your wall right here. For your flash, you're going to be putting your flash up here. This flash is going to cover the majority of the entry pathing right here. Because at any point, unless they're behind this box right here, they're going to be completely blind. But if they do start doing that, you can just start putting your flash, you know, right here. What do you mean you can't? What do you mean you can't place your trap there? There we go. That's how you do it. But anyways, yeah, I could just put your flash right there, and then bada bing, bada boom. You have that going for you. As far as the Razor Vines go, I'll put one right here to slow anyone pathing through this way, and then, you know, for the second vine, you either put it right in front of here, or you put it right here so that they can't cross freely into sight. Anyways, yeah, that's the basic setup for A. Let's go on over to B. Moving on over to B here, this is probably the setup that I would use. You're going to be using this wall right here to deny them all the space in default plant, because if someone tries to come through here and plant the bomb, they're going to be, your wall is going to be tripped. You're going to pop your Razor Vine, you're going to blind them with your blind up here, and then you're just going to be sitting up in nest ready to kill them like this. Boom. As far as them going yellow, you have your Razor Vine for yellow here. You could probably place this one a little bit like further back, more near the center like this, so it covers the whole of yellow. But yeah, no, very, very simple setup for B. This one's really, really straightforward. There's not much explanation needed here. All right, on to the next map. All right, welcome to Lotus. So this is most likely the setup that I'll be using on A side of Lotus. Now, note that as a Sentinel, you should really be playing C. So playing C is going to be probably your best bet with VYSE, just like any other Sentinel. Just a pro tip here. But if you are stuck playing A, like you have a Jet opping on C or something, and you don't really have to worry about C, or your A hold is just completely atrocious, this is most likely the setup I'm going to be using. Again, same idea as before. You're using your wall on the choke point to stop anyone from coming through. You have this Razor Vine to pop off of the contact of your wall, so that you have an easier fight once your wall, you know, goes up. Probably place your Razor Vine a little bit deeper than I did, so like this. So that if they come out the wall, they're going to get slowed and they don't really have a chance to run away. So you're going to, you know, have like this right here. You're going to have your flash here to play off of, because generally with VYSE, you're going to want to probably be playing about right here. You're going to be waiting for your wall to go off. You're going to pop your Razor Vine, take a fight here. But if you are getting crunched from a tree as well, there's this sort of thing you can do as well. You can blind anyone coming out of tree like this with this flash, because this one is just going to blind them. Again, the flash is going to be on the off angle, so it is going to blind them. Then you also have your Razor Vine here to slow them. So generally, this is going to be a good idea when it comes to a setup on A. Again, the setup on A is going to be very, very simple. On B is sort of the same idea as the B setup on, what's it called? On Haven. You're just going to put your wall on B and forget about it. You don't really need to set up B because 90% of the time you're going to be playing for retake on B. So generally on B, you don't really want to waste utility. So probably put your wall. On C, however, is where you really, really want to make sure you have a good setup. So this is the one that I found. You're going to put your wall across like this to stop any entries like this. You're going to have a Razor Vine right here. You're going to have a Razor Vine right here. And your flash is going to be off of this back wall like this. Now, you'll see that this is very, very similar to a common Killjoy setup. Oh, also, instead of this Razor Vine right here, alternatively, you could also put one right here. But that's just honestly up to you. A person's going to come in. They're going to get hit by the wall. They're going to get slowed by the Razor Vine, so they can't exactly come over onto sight. As they're being slowed, they're going to be blinded, and then you as the VYSE player are going to be right back here, mainly sitting back sight here. But you could also, you know, sit like over here if you want to swing off it like this, but generally you're going to want to be right here, getting ready to swing off your own flash like this off of the wall contact. So generally you're going to be your overpowered setup for C. You're going to have your wall here, and I would say to vine first and then flash, because you want them to be confused by the vine and then blinded by the flash, so that you have as much blind time as you can. Because if you blind and then pop your thing, you're just wasting time that they're blind. So that's why you want to pop your vines and then you want to swing off your flash. And generally the timing of your swinging is you're going to swing as the flash pops like this, so that you can maximize the amount of time that you're swinging them and they're within your line of sight and blind, so you have enough time to line up your shot and just, you know, pop them. But anyways, yeah, that's going to be it for this map. On to the next. All right, boys, home stretch. Welcome to Sunset. So this is going to be the general setup that I'm going to be using on Sunset right here. First off, you're going to have your blind right here for main. Now, getting the blind on the camera was a little bit of a hassle to figure out. But what you have to do is you have to put your blind in invert mode, and then you have to stand right here. Then you have to wait for it to be parallel with the camera like this. And then what this can do is, I messed it up, but there's a way to actually get it on the camera, which is like that. Now, this is a very, very good flash when it's on the camera, just because, you know, it's very high up. It's a very unexpected position for your flash. And because it flashes in a bulb like this, it doesn't matter where the flash is pointing. It'll blind you regardless. So, like, a pretty common misconception will be, oh, the rose has to be facing them. It doesn't. As far as razor vines go, same idea as this. You want to deny them from getting into the choke point easily. Now, this setup in elbow is actually like it's actually really, really good, because it's pretty much a guaranteed kill if they get hit by this. So what's going to happen is they're going to be coming through this wall, and then you're going to razor vine. So this wall right here is going to stop them from running away, but it's also going to get rid of every single piece of cover that they have. So if they get past this wall, they're going to have zero cover from anywhere, because they can't run back to cover here. They have no cover here. They have zero cover. And on top of that, they're also going to be slowed by this. So if they come through elbow and with this setup, they're pretty much completely cooked. So yeah, this setup, extremely, 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 extremely good. So this is a pretty much guaranteed kill if they go here. Alternatively, you could also just, you know, be boring, right, and like, you know, put your wall here or something for the A main. But I mean, come on, like, do you want stall or do you want guaranteed kill? I think we want guaranteed kill here over on the Berate channel. So anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it for A. Coming on over to B here, I have to make sure to pick up my flash-a-doodle here. Also, I can't pick up my flash while I'm in ghost mode. Like, when I'm no clipping around, I can't actually pick up my flash. I hate that. Like, I actually have to drop down to the ground and pick it up. Like, when I was making a guide for Cypher, and I was, like, doing multiple takes, I could just fly around and, like, pick up his trips and pick up his cam. I can't do that with VYSE. Retail fixture game. Anyways, on B, generally, the wall you're going to be throwing is this one. Sort of the same idea as that Unbreakable Cypher trip. It's just going to be covering everything here. And then also, you want to put your flash as high up as you possibly can. Like this. I want to put your flash as high up as you possibly can on this wall in particular, because not only is it going to blind anyone coming out main, it's also going to blind anyone, you know, coming out through here, and just the entirety of front side is going to be blind. As far as razor vines go, I will most likely put one right here, and I'll most likely also put one right here. Because of how big this choke point is, one razor vine right here, like on the wall as they're coming out, ain't really going to cut it, because they can just, you know, tuck in this right corner, tuck in the left corner. So definitely I would recommend putting a second razor vine either right there, or you could have like one be like right here, or one right here and right here, so that you have sort of like this chain effect going on. Either way, I would recommend putting both your razor vines for main. Alternatively, what you could also do is you could put your razor vine right here, because you remember, you want the razor vine there to slow them and CC them and blind them and set up yourself for a blind as they're coming out. So you always want the razor vine here, but you could also put your razor vine here for stairs, just to make, you know, any duelist trying to entry here and take more space back sight have a lot more difficult time, because they're going to be damaged and getting slowed by this. And then this flash, self-explanatory. As VYSE playing with this setup, you're most likely going to be playing backside here, because, you know, they trigger your wall, you hit them with one of these, go bink, bop, beep, wall goes down, they're pushing you, you throw your second one, you route over here, bink, bop, beep. By this point, your flash should be regenerated, you flash them again, and then you sort of just go for more picks. But anyways, yeah, that is going to do it for this VYSE guide. Like, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and subscribe. And if you have any better VYSE setups than me, these are just my day one VYSE setups, and I will be making more in-depth VYSE guides or guides with VYSE in them in the future once I figure out the character more. I'll probably make a gameplay video with VYSE at some point with like my first few ranked games with VYSE. Coming up soon. I just have to get that edited. But anyways, yeah, bye-bye.
Hey you, if you made it to the end of the video, make sure to subscribe to Berate, or I will take your Valorant elo.